everybody. It's Website Throwdown. I'm Joshua Harrell with Travel Quest Network World Via Travel Group, and I like to be known as hashtag Jedi Joshua. That's what I got when I was at Travel Quest World. So I'm going to take that as a marketing Jedi, maybe. I got some mind tricks to work with. And I am here with Sarah from TravelLabelVacations.com. Hey, Sarah.
What's up?
What's up? I like that. That's the energy we need for today. I love it. And then I've got a purple sparkly tree back there because why not? That's it's my show. I'm gonna do whatever I want. There we go. So Sarah and I have been chatting a little bit. We've been chatting about her website. So we had a little bit of warm-up time. So I know a little bit more than you do necessarily about her, her website. And I haven't looked at her website yet, so we're going to do that live. It's going to be a reveal. So I'm pretty excited about that. Sarah, why did you want to do a website throwdown?
So I have not been doing any marketing recently. I've only been doing referrals, and I plan to scale up in the new year. And I'm debating whether I really need to overhaul the website with a professional or whether it's working as it is. I'm not really getting the leads from it or the attention to it that I would like. So I'm hoping that you might be able to give me some insight on things that I can improve, things that I can change, things I need to add, things I need to take away, that kind of thing.
All right, and I'm sure you know how many visitors have been to your website in, let's say, October. What would that look like?
In October, I had 121 users, of which 118 were new.
That is wonderful. And then how many pages did they visit on average?
2.01 pages.
All right, and how long on average were they on your site?
1 minute and 19 seconds.
That is good. And then what about the bounce rate?
58.04%.
Awesome. Okay, that's good too. So I mean, the things that I asked you, how many visitors, how many new visitors, how many pages did they look at, how long were they on the site, that all makes sense. But the bounce rate is one that if someone asks me what bounce rate means, I'm like, it just means that people didn't like what they saw and they bounced out of there. But I did get an official definition, and since it's fresh on my mind, I want to share it with you. The bounce rate does mean that. It does mean that people have come to the website, and if your bounce rate is high, and high is going to be in the 80s,
Okay.
and if you run ads, any digital ads, it's going to be in the 80s, and that's acceptable. It's not great, but what it stands for is that someone comes to your website, and they don't go anywhere else. They don't click a read more button. They don't click another menu item to go to another page. They just bounce and we've all done it before. We've all typed in a web address and gone to the wrong website and said, oh, I was not looking for that, and then you're like, I got to get out of there. Or they saw some random information based on a search on Google that made them think your page was going to answer their question. And then when they got there, it didn't. And sometimes that, especially if it was a Disney travel agent and you are a Disney travel agency and they bounced when they got to your site, then that would mean that your site didn't really indicate to them that, hey, I've got an answer for you, or I'm the provider you need. So you want to look at your bounce rate. There is one company that I work with, and their bounce rate is 7%.
Whoa.
I have never in my life, and nobody else that I've ever worked with has ever said that they have ever seen a bounce rate so low. And it's a site, it's not just a brand new site and hardly anybody goes there. It's a site that thousands of people go to every single month. So that is an anomaly, but you being at 58%, I'd kind of feel pretty good about that. That's a great benchmark, and you want it to be lower. And like you said, you were going to ramp things up in January. So, just know kind of where you stand with that. But I wanted to explain what the bounce rate is because it is indicating your relevancy when people land on your site. So we'll keep that in mind. So we talked about your numbers. I'm so proud of you for knowing your numbers because so many people I talk to don't know their numbers. So
It's
now
important that I check them on a monthly basis.
it is. I think you should have a to-do list, and that's
I
gonna
think
be
I should. It
that's
should be
just
on my
gonna
to-do.
it's just gonna be our inside joke for now. So anyway, all right. Let me get I'm trying to get your web address, copy and paste, and all right, so we've got that there. I am now going to share my screen. Thank you guys for bearing with me. And wow, something is going a little bit wrong here. Let me see if, sorry guys, I had a little technical difficulty and it's saying you can't share your screen without giving permission. So stand by for a moment. Why is this not happening? Sorry guys. Sorry, Sarah.
Sorry.
I'm literally
I'll start
getting,
describing it. There's
yeah,
a
I know. I'm kind of feeling we need to do that for a moment here. Okay, here we go. Now I'm, all right, so you know what, Sarah, we're gonna have to improv here because it looks like someone has updated my Zoom and it caused some challenges there. So can you go to your website, but go down, there's a little box down at the bottom of your Zoom window that says share.
Yeah.
And so you can pick your screen to share, and we're just gonna do this different. You're gonna
All right, hold on one second. I gotta bring it up in the incognito window.
I really love little surprises on live. We're gonna call this live television. So.
Share that.
Oh, all right. Looks like something. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is gonna be a little different because I'm gonna have to ask you to.
Yeah, you tell me what to do and I'll do
Yeah.
it.
Let me go there. Okay. So first instinct is I would delay your pop-up because man, that hit me really fast. Well, actually, can you just refresh your screen because there was a it took a minute for you to share your screen. So I might be not. All right.
But the
All right.
yeah, there.
Yeah, it's a little more sensible there. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't pass judgment on it too soon. All right. These are my opinions, and I'm just going to give you these freely, and you can choose to take them or not. I think join the travel able community. And I see where you say sign up for the monthly newsletter full of unique freebies, priority access. I love that. But I think the fact that the community is so large in my mind, it does seem like it's a group and not necessarily your email newsletter or your promotional piece. So I might trim that down. It is a huge pop-up. Is there any way for you to adjust that within your website platform?
I think so because it's a plugin. I would have. There's different templates, so I think I would have to play with it, but I can do that.
It is very large. And what is your niche? What do you sell?
Accessible adventures. So they are. I only cater to the disability community.
Okay. All right. Well, what I am getting right now is tropical Caribbean, Mexico. So with the fact that this is popping up and it's got a graphic behind it, it's not helping me understand what you specialize in.
Okay.
So the fact that it is so big and it's blocking anything else, I don't know. There's a little bit of a disconnect. And I did remember that you had that specialty, but I didn't remember that just now until you said that. So so I'm missing that. Okay. So and I like the fact that you connected up Facebook Messenger. Look at you. You're doing the
Yeah.
live chat with Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
I have just started using that, so I don't have a lot of feedback on it, but I love the fact that the majority of the world is on Facebook and they have Messenger on their phone. You have Messenger on your phone. Very easy for you to deal with this, whether this is a full-time or a part-time career. Very easy for you to keep that live chat going on your site. Love it. All right, so can we kill the opt-in
Yep.
box here? All right. So love that I see the telephone number. That's great. Um, my personal preference is for you not to have your email address written out on your website. I would
Okay.
use forms, hit contact and fill out a form because there are programs all across the web that are ripping anything that looks like a website address and adding that to spam email lists. So I feel
Um,
like that can junk up your inbox and prevent you from actually digging into your client stuff. So that's really good. What is the icon with the wheelchair in the upper right?
those are accessibility options to make so you can change the font size. You could put the colors in grayscale and all that stuff.
I love that. Was that just a plugin with the WordPress site that you have?
I believe so, but I think there are a number of regulations coming out about making websites accessible because there have been a number of lawsuits of people who are suing larger companies because their websites are not accessible. So I think that specific plugin can be added to any site. I think
Love it.
WordPress has it in their plugin library, but I think you can add it to any site.
Well, I have not seen that, so thank you very much for schooling me on that.
Yeah, no worries.
One of the key things that I learned recently doing a little research project is how poorly websites use the alt text option for images on their websites. So a lot of times they're stuffing it with keywords or really not describing what the picture really is. So with someone with a visual impairment, they can't tell what's going on in the website. So it's
Yeah.
like you're leaving them out of the joke or the story or whatever. And I thought when I discovered that, I was like, that's awful. And I could think of all the websites that I've built that I didn't really put that much attention. So I love to know that that's coming. And you are right. There are a lot of lawsuits going on. It is even social media and the way that we post images on social media, it's not really conducive for people that have any kind of
Mm-mm.
impairment. So anyway, very good to know. I think with your specific niche, that is a perfect indicator that we take this seriously. I love it. Making the world accessible, introducing custom travel adventures for special needs families. You've got your pitch right there. Love it. That's awesome. Is this image clickable? Does it go anywhere?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. What I have found, we use a lot of monitoring tools on websites. We are so used as humans, we are now trained that if there's a big hero image like this, that it is clickable, even if it doesn't have a button. So you might want to click that to an About Us page or your services page or something for those people. If you installed some of those same monitoring tools, you'd see a lot of little marks where people have moved over the image and clicked to see if it works. So, but I love your image. I love that I can see your elevator pitch before we get to scrolling down any lower. I love that. Love your logo. I love the fact that the rule is never have more than 5 top navigation menu items, and you have 4. And so you're rocking it with that. Do they have any drop-down menus when you hover over them, or these are
Well,
all?
this is what I'm not taking advantage of because this template has like built in, you could put in itineraries, you can put in packages, you can put in destinations,
Mhm.
which I have not taken advantage of. So I think I would probably put another tab that said destinations and then have those clickable. But currently none of this has any drop downs or anything.
Okay. Well, I'm not a big fan of drop-downs, especially how they translate on mobile devices. So I like the single click. Uh, if you put destinations down there, I think that that would be really smart. And then you can always, if you start to build packages, you can start to connect those destinations with the packages. But here, I think that that destinations would serve you well. That's my assumption.
Okay.
So pretty good. Can we scroll down a little bit?
Yep. This is the next section.
All right. So, hi, I'm Sarah Marshall. But that's not Sarah over in the picture.
No,
Right
it's not.
there.
No, it's not.
Yep. So I need to see Sarah there.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I love the picture and it should definitely be used on your site, but yeah, let's connect with a human being because that's who they're going to buy from. All right, and I keep trying to scroll myself. Can you continue to scroll for me? Work with us. So is there more than one person? Is that your vision of your agency?
I mean, I assume that at some point I will have to bring on people because my workload is hard as it is. But it's this is tough. It's a family operation in that my husband and my son play a big role in the story and helping us market. They're at all the events and stuff like that. Okay. So even though I'm the only travel agent, it's like our family. I don't know. Maybe I'm.
No, that's great. I mean, you have a story there. Like if you were just like, well, I just wanted to sound like a big corporation, that's a different story. You have a story there. So that's fine. And you're not Sarah's travel agency, you're Travel Able. So that works. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't using us when you really meant me.
Yeah.
So I'm good with that. Okay. And so if you click on that schedule as a consultation, what does it do?
Okay. Shoot, it's wrong, but it should go to my scheduler. But it's wrong because I switched CRMs and I have a new scheduler. So it gives two options. It's my Calendly link at this point.
Okay. I love it. I love that you're using Calendly. That's awesome. Okay. Can we go back?
Yeah. My computer is taking a while.
That's okay. I'm just being
demanding. And you know what it's going to do? It's going to pop up everything again.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I just wanted to see. I like the fact that you didn't just take me to a contact form, that you are actually connecting up to a service like Calendly where it goes on your calendar. They can pick what time. I just love that. I mean, the fact that for the most part, you don't even need the paid version of Calendly. You can use that and sync it up to your calendar. I just love that. So the fact that I can schedule with you and make that happen, it's wonderful. All right, let's scroll down. Certified travel advisors.
Yeah, so let's see. Can I make it? Can I zoom out? No, it keeps going down the page though.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, no hidden charges. Like it, we get you. You know what? That picture that I was just saying replaced with your picture or a picture of you with your family.
Yeah.
I would love to see that picture where you've got is that Big Ben or Tower Bridge? Okay. Yeah, so you got Tower Bridge there. I would love to see, because you've got something that says custom made for your family. We get you. And then you've got the story of why Travelable. I think that would be a nice picture to tie into what you're saying right here.
Okay.
I mean, I love Tower Bridge, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Keep on scrolling. I like your copy here. I can tell that you used a professional.
It was worth the price. Definitely worth the price.
Yeah. All right. So this is your blog.
Yeah, this is my blog, and it's set to rotate. So these aren't necessarily my most recent blogs, but every time you come back, they rotate again.
Okay. Well, I was going to say that, not knowing that, one of the points on my website Throwdown checklist is, does your website signal that it's fresh content? And because it didn't in this particular case and gave me November 2nd, October 19th, it did make me see that you are active on your website and you're creating new content on your website. So I don't have any skin in the game in terms of whether it's random and it goes all the way back to 2017 if you had a blog in 2017. But today, I like the fact that it is signaling that you have content that is up to date. So good job there. And Sarah said she was going to take notes. So
Yeah, I'm taking notes.
we have to bear with her. She
And
doesn't
then
want
you can view all posts. Will go to the blog.
Okay, that's awesome. About how many articles do you have on your blog?
I want to say like 6, but I have a ghostwriter, and we're trying to do a weekly. So depending on, what my promotion cycle is, I have an editorial calendar that I go off of for myself per year. And so hopefully that will start being more regular.
So, well, kudos to you, because a lot of people start with a blog and then it's very hard to keep it going. So the fact that you've got an editorial calendar, super, super helpful. And is this the same content that you use on social media to promote your website?
It would be if I promoted my website. I don't really promote my website. I probably should.
Okay, that's
but I do. So I have both a private group and my Facebook page. When a new post comes out, I do share them onto that page. But I haven't done paid advertising yet with any of my content.
That's fine. That's fine. And I did remember you saying that you won't be doing that until January. So. And the thing with that is, if your content is evergreen, then I see you've got buffer, use that to auto rotate, just keep pushing those articles out, because the thing, when you were talking about, this was before we got on the call, or before we went live, sorry, you were saying that you get a couple of email signs up a week, which that makes sense because you get hit with a whacking sign up email. So kudos to you. Those people that hate pop-ups, I'm sorry, let's just be real. It works. So if you're not doing it because you hate pop-ups, then I'm sorry, you're missing out on a lot of people that could be adding to your database and people that you could market to. So you said you get a couple per week and you've only gotten one booking from the site so far. And so I asked you, when did the website go up? And you said June. So what I wanted to say, and you are not doing anything wrong. This is good stuff here. The one thing I will say is, and I don't have any science behind this, I just have a lot of experience with it. It takes about 6 months for a web page or a blog post to get any kind of organic traffic, if it gets it at all. So whenever you do a brand new website, you need to know that if you're not doing advertising, which everybody doesn't have to do advertising, but that's the only way to turn on the faucet right away. So whenever you launch a new website or a piece of content, you need to know that it is not going to benefit you outside of social posts, or if you're doing advertising, for 6 months.
Okay.
But stopping and starting on your content flow also hurts you a little bit too. So you need to be active on your website. Google needs to be able to go through and say, oh, she's added 10 pages this month. That means that she's not dead or out of business. Like this is happening here. So you're doing some really good things. And I want to give you big kudos, because in some of the numbers that you gave me, it's small numbers coming to your website. 118 new users coming to your website in October. That's a small number, but for most of us, when we open a website, we don't even get that. We might get 10 or 14. But the fact that you've got that many visits since June and 2 pages on average per visit, that's a really big deal. If people didn't like what you were doing, they would leave, they would bounce. You'd have a high bounce rate and they would not see more than 1 page. So kudos to you. I think that you should be really proud of yourself. And that one booking with no advertising, and you haven't been around for 6 months with your website, I'm pretty impressed.
Oh,
so don't beat yourself up about that. All right, so let's continue going down the page here.
So this is part of the template. Mm-hmm. It's just a little like counter, and you have to update it. The problem is I never update it. So my husband said, I need to inflate the numbers, but I don't know. Anyway, I could take it away.
Well, all right, husband. I'm going to tell you that I probably would agree with you in this situation. I would, your family's reach number is a large number for an owner operator, and I'm going to consider this a new business.
Mhm.
So I don't want to inflate that because, if you said 2 million, I'd be like, what are you, McDonald's? Like, this is not happening. So that is a believable number. I think your trips created, you could probably inflate that a little bit.
Yeah, and I
Um,
haven't added any new ones yet recently. So
yeah, and unique destinations. Um, I would count up how many unique destinations there are in the world and drop that in there.
all right.
It doesn't necessarily need to be a stock ticker and telling you where you stand. And so have you only visited 22 countries?
I've yes.
That's awesome because I think I visited 4 or 5. So you're killing me. So you're already a valuable travel agent there. Love it. Okay, I love the homepage. I think you're doing a really
Okay.
good job. I hate that pop-up. That pop-up has got to become more neutral, maybe not have a picture, maybe just be smaller, but it's covering up your elevator pitch. It's just too big. And the fact that Messenger pops up at the same time, it's too junky there. So
Yeah.
your homepage is good. I do notice by looking in your upper left-hand corner of the screen that your page title for your homepage is home-travelable.
Mm-hmm.
That should be something that you can update. That is going to be on a search engine result page. That's going to be the big bolded text.
Oh, okay.
So I would put uh, accessible, extraordinary vacation, whatever I can't remember what the elevator pitch is. I'm looking at
Making the world accessible.
okay, so that's a headline. So making the world accessible through extraordinary vacations. That might be a little too long for that particular space, but I would make sure that page title is a wow headline.
Okay.
Definitely make that. And have you updated your page description for the website to where the homepage tells your elevator pitch more in detail?
I don't remember.
All right, I would check. Make sure that every page has a unique title that represents what that page is about. And obviously your homepage is about who you are as a company. So, you can use headlines there. And then make sure the description is doing its part to convey what the page is about, but also who you're about. And don't make sure that they are unique across every single page within the website, which is for your blog, that's easy, but sometimes about the contact us page gets a little tricky.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure that every time somebody searches for your site or what you offer and a page comes up, it's not always the home page, that every page is doing its part to get that click on Google. So,
Okay.
all right, can we go to services?
Yes. There we go.
There we go. All right, I need a picture here.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other question I have is about a sidebar. I don't have it on here. I was debating setting up like affiliate advertising, but I didn't know whether that was really on a business page, whether that was a good thing.
I think this is, again, my gut feeling with that is if you were creating a blog site like TMZ or something like that, I think affiliate advertising makes so much sense. I think you having any banner ads here I think my trust factor would go down.
Okay.
I can't even say it any better. I just feel like that's not a great idea. However, if there was a company that offered a product that was relevant to your audience,
Mm-hmm.
I think a advertisement, a picture of you holding the product, or making that ad your own,
Mm-hmm.
could add some value, and then you could still have it as an affiliate click. I would play with that. When we look at the site's only been open since June, you don't have a lot of traffic to it. I don't want to cloud the message. What do you do and what do you offer? So on the services page, I really need to see a picture when this loads up, especially because you're writing a story.
Okay.
I feel like I need something there. Can you scroll down a little bit more? The right destination, right tools, the guidance. Okay. I am wondering with this content, I'm wondering if you flipped it. So when you land on this page, you see right destination, right tools, right guidance. Because if I have heard about you, I've heard about you for a particular reason, right? So now you're giving me some real information, and then go into the story, because I know it's, you kind of got it to where it's working together. I don't know. This is just, when you got to this, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I'm clicking on the services button to find out what service you offer, then I should be able to see it really fast.
Okay.
But so play with that, but I definitely need a picture. I need a picture. I'm basic that way. All right, can I see the blog?
So this I do have a sidebar on because I have my certifications, but I can take it away or change that depending.
So you don't have these certifications on the bottom of your site?
Not currently, no.
I need to see those there. If you can get them there, I need to see them. And if for whatever reason, if you've got a limitation with the template you're using, they're fine here, but I would love to see them as maybe right below the hero image on the homepage.
Okay.
Because this is good. I do want to know that not only are you a travel professional, but you are a travel professional for this specific audience. I love those endorsements.
Okay.
Yeah, good job. All right, can I scroll down a little bit? Okay, so we've got multiple articles, making it easy to share. Love the pictures. Yeah, this is good. Now, do you do any interlinking between articles? Do you have, like, if you talk about something and you have another article about that, do you link that so people can click?
Yeah, sometimes I want to say one of these does, maybe this one. Yes, if I'm talking about something that I've talked about before, I interlink it, but because I only have like 6 articles, there isn't, sometimes I'm talking about stuff that I haven't talked about before, so.
That's cool. Well, as long as you're doing that, and it's always great to link to sites outside of yours. You know, that helps. That sends some good mojo your way, and potentially someone can link to you. But even those internal links help Google understand that if someone read Magic Lessons at Disney, then they would also, other article would be, or other page would be relevant to them. So every time Google enters a page, it follows every single link on that page. So as long as you are aware of that, and like you said, you've got 6 articles, you can't have links all over the place. So yeah. I'm good. You know about it. So yeah, that's great. All right, can we go to the about? All right. Oh, look at that. I love it.
That was his very first flight.
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. All right. I love this about page. Keep on going. Keep on scrolling. I love the use of the headlines, breaking that up. I love it. You're not giving me one big long paragraph. Oh my God, I can't handle big long paragraphs. They're just too much. I love the family pictures. This is great. Yeah, I love the fact that you did this here, but I want to see more of you and your family on other pages.
Okay.
I think that makes it real for you. And then if you get down to the bottom, does this give me another schedule opportunity?
Yes.
Awesome. That's great. Every single page should have a call to action. You've got one. That's terrific. But I probably, you know what, I'm looking at this now, your telephone number disappears as you scroll down.
Does it? Oh yeah, it does.
It does. So you know what, wherever you've got the button down at the bottom, I would probably schedule a consultation, or you can always give me a call. And
Oh,
that's my
okay.
cell phone number, especially if it's disappearing like that. Or if you can put it down in your footer beside where you've got terms and conditions, then it would always be at the bottom. But
All right.
some people don't want to be fancy and schedule a consultation with a
Yeah,
calendar
and
booking.
so I have a page that's not live
Okay.
that has the ability to book now. And if you hit book now, it'll bring up my intake form. So that if you don't want to talk to me, you just want to get a quote or something, you'd fill out that form. But I took it down and I can't remember why. I think I took it down because it had like marketing messages on it I wasn't ready to put up yet.
Mhm.
But I didn't know whether I really needed that option.
Well, being honest with you, I think you might get a lot of form submissions, but the service that you're offering is not just pick a menu, pick an item menu, an item off the menu. So I like this idea. I think, I wanted to go to your contact form to see if you've got that option for someone to just tell you about what they're thinking. So, and give them that as an option. And maybe the contact page is get a quote, and it doesn't have marketing messages. It's just more of a free form that people could fill out as an option. But I wouldn't use any language like book now.
Okay.
Um, I would do it as request a quote or something like that. Just, and here, schedule a consultation. Schedule time for us to talk. I mean, consultation even sounds a little stuffy.
Okay.
Let's talk. Schedule a convenient time, something like that, to make it, because you're cool. I'm not expecting consultation is almost like to have my teeth whitened to have a consultation. I don't know, play with that a little bit.
All
Bring your
right.
personality into that to get more clicks, because the word consultation, I struggle with it. For one of our businesses, I have to use it, and every time I try to get creative with it, I'm not happy just because of that. That business is more the professional services, but I'm constantly trying to figure out a way to make it more friendly, and I think you could. Let's talk. Let's schedule time to talk. Convenient time to
Okay.
talk. All right, can we go to the contact page? Yeah. So here I would put, okay, so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do people walk into an office here for the location?
No, but I worked with a coach, a business coach, who
Uh-huh.
said for Google organic ranking that I needed to put what areas that I served. So like I live in Naperville and the surrounding suburbs, but I'm moving nationwide next year. So in
Okay.
order for people like in other areas for me to pop up when they say like travel agent near me, she said I have to put that somewhere on my website.
Well, I don't want to get into a throwdown with her, but I will not concur with that thinking. She
Okay.
is right. She's right to a degree, right? This right here, the way this page is structured, is not an address. You've listed these locations. It is not gonna, at least in my experience, it's not gonna signal that you are Naperville, Aurora, that this is local. So that is, I don't believe that that would help. However, if this page on a page title and page description said travel agent in Naperville, Aurora, Plainfield, whatever, that could signal something, but this is just the locations.
Okay.
Um, and it's in a page that's not necessarily, it's not even an address. So Google would not even read it. And I don't know all of Google's magic. I just pretend to be the Gandalf of websites. I don't know. But I'm just thinking that because you have this niche, I would just say America, the United States of America, nationwide. I don't think, I think you've got a big audience that you could serve. And I don't think if they're local to you, I don't know that that's going to make a difference unless you had a storefront. and you don't have a
No,
storefront.
I don't. But I
Yeah.
also didn't want to put my home address because I don't want people showing up.
No, I agree with you. I'd say proudly serving the United States of America, or I nationwide. And like you said, we're about 2 months away before you're starting to promote this website, and you will be nationwide. So let's just go there.
Okay.
I think if I got this and I saw that nationwide was in italics, I would think that maybe I kind of do nationwide, but I prefer to only deal with you if you live in Bolingbrook, Illinois. So I do that, and I would add a form here if there isn't one.
Well, so there is a form down here.
Okay. If you could get this form up so it automatically is the first thing I see, and then just had your telephone number to the side of that, or if you don't need this. I really don't like the email address being there. I just think you're going to get a lot of spam.
Yeah.
So maybe you say I serve nationwide, or maybe you don't even have to say anything about the location, because if you are nationwide, then I don't need to know that. But I think it's doing you a disservice to have your form below the fold to make somebody have to get to it. Because if I was wanting to really talk to you, I would use the schedule consultation. If I'm trying to be a little more passive and just kind of test the waters, then I want to fill out the form. Just make it easy for me to get there. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions about your site?
Can I show you the pages I don't have up to see whether you think they're worth putting up?
I love it. Let's go behind the scenes. See, this is live television. We can just
All right, if I close it down. Can you still see if I do this? Yeah, okay.
Let's see. So it looks, did you open up another window?
Is it not showing?
No, it's still showing me the other one. You have to go back to share and
hold on, please.
Yeah.
Hold, please.
Stand by. Your call will be answered by the person next to pick up the phone.
Okay, now can you see it? Do you see WordPress?
Yes. And now let's see your password. Oh, everybody saw our password. No. Oh, now we're going into the dirty here.
Yeah. All right. Is it this one? Sorry, I have to. Oh yeah, okay, so that's the intake form. We don't want that one, sorry. This one. So I charge fees.
Okay.
And there has been, excuse me, a back and forth with people about whether to make the fees transparent on your website.
Okay.
And so originally,
so is it a magical thing that only unicorns can know, and they have to guide you through the process? I think that's a very weird thing to hide what it costs to do business with me.
So I had a really interesting conversation with a couple travel agents at a conference recently.
Okay.
The idea being that if you make it concrete on your website, that there's no flexibility. So for instance, if someone says, well, I'm going to Disney, so I only pay $100, and then you're like, yeah, but your Disney trip is really complicated, so I'm going to charge you $250 or something. That not having them on your website allows you to be like, for this trip that I've planned for you, the fee that I think would be most appropriate is this.
Okay.
But I personally feel like I want people to know what they're getting when they sign up.
Yeah.
So I took this page down.
I think both things are right? Okay. You can't, your fee is not right. Your fee structure is not right if it doesn't fit all situations and could be easily navigated by a customer, right? Mm-hmm. So if the Wanderer is $100 and I'm not looking at the details of it, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, really, that's $250 for you. That just sounds like, what is this? This is some kind of like traveling salesperson. This is not right. So I think having something that you could stand behind, it also makes you feel more comfortable in situations where you might not necessarily feel comfortable charging a fee. where you're feeling like you're having to be like, oh, but would you be willing to pay a fee?
Right.
But if you had a structure, so I would look at the structure of your fee, your packages, how you're grouping things. It can't be complicated, right?
Yeah.
But you do have some of those trips that are complicated. So how does someone figure out where they're going to fall in this mix? The worst thing I found being in the travel industry is that there is a perception that I can do it more cheaply myself, right? So we're constantly trying to battle with this. Now you're in a niche where you've kind of kicked that to the curb. Like, I'm not looking for the cheapest, I'm looking for the best,
Right.
because this could go very, very pear-shaped if I don't have someone helping me. So I think you should have your fees. I think it can go on your services page. It should be pretty simple. But one of the things that you could say in your situation, kind of what you just brought to my attention, you could say, my fees run from this to this, right? And have your window. But don't worry. Let's talk. Let me find out more about what you're looking to do. I am 100% transparent. You will know exactly what the whole thing will cost before you ever get charged anything or something like that. I'm absolutely riffing. So anybody
Yeah.
listening to me, these are not pearls of wisdom. I don't like when companies, and there's a company that I was just looking into, and they do a technology piece that I felt like we really could use, but in my mind it was like $100,000 price tag, and we went through several meetings where they would never tell us how much it was going to be. So by the third meeting, I walked out of the meeting thinking, well, it's a great product, but I'm never going to be able to afford it. So then they finally send the numbers, and it was something comparable to what you would spend on groceries. I mean, it was nominal. And I thought, well, that was weird. I understood why they were not trying to, they were trying to make sure that I didn't go away because of price, but I almost went away because they didn't give me price,
Yeah.
because I don't want to waste his time. And I mean, it just was a mess. So I think coming up with something that you can feel really good about, but I think it could be as simple as saying, most trips run from this to this, and then some that are more in depth are from this to this. So
Okay.
it isn't necessarily a package, I guess, but you need to figure out what is viable for the marketplace for you and for the types of clients that or future clients that you're attracting, for sure.
And where should I put the page? Should it be nested under services or should it have its own header
I,
on?
I think if I'm going to services and you tell me, here's the right experience, I can't remember the three things, and then you're telling me a story, I'm buying into you. I'm like, wow, she knows what she's talking about. This is exactly what I was looking for. And then, how do you work with me? Then there's a little statement. And it doesn't have to be overly complicated, but I think your transparency in saying, hey, um, I will let you know it's not going to be a hidden fee. There's no hidden fees.
Yeah, and then there's like a la carte. Oh, here's where it was. So here's all my a la carte fees. And then I said, if you know what package you like, what services you need, you can book now. And that takes them to the link of the registration for. Okay, take that away.
Yeah. No, this is, I, yeah, I'm not even a big fan of the a la carte fees. I, yeah, I just, I think you will provide them a quote, and I'm not trying to get into business consulting here. I'm
Yeah,
supposed
I know.
to click on the website, but I think you should give people a realistic expectation of what they might spend working with you, and then let them know that you'll do a quote for them. Because in some situations, there are things that are very, very difficult for you to put together. Some situations can be super, super fast depending on what the product is that you're selling. So you'll know that when you're looking at somebody's what they're looking to buy.
Okay.
That's my guidance, and you could totally, there could be hate mail. I could get hate mail later.
One more quick one. If I
Okay.
could, I can't remember if I still have it on here. Come on. This one.
Oh, process. Oh, I love a process.
So this one was written by my copywriter, and I can't remember why I took it down, but I took it down. And I don't know whether this should go inside the services page, alongside the services page. This is basically like from start to finish what it looks like to work with me.
Yeah.
So then that package link links to the fees.
Okay.
And then you're scheduling a consultation.
Okay. I think you morph your services page into including this, the story, your realistic expectation of the fees associated. I don't know that it needs to be its own page.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's important to have on the services, do you think?
Well, I think it is, because you're giving me, because there are going to be people that don't know how to work with you, a travel agent, right? But specifically what you do, right? So I think it's important.
Okay.
Yeah. And then over time, if you feel like, something that does happen, we find that there are certain pages of your website that are great to email to someone because they pulled the trigger, they called you, they sent a form, but they didn't really read your website from start to finish. And then they're like, well, how does it even work? And then you can tell them, and then you might want to make this be its own page so you can share the link. I don't know, from my point of view, I would not make it a part of your top navigation.
Okay.
But if you did end up creating this as its own page or other things, you could always put it in your footer navigation. And that can help people find that. And you can always link pages to each other based on where you're at in the process. But right now, again, I go back to, you don't want to have more than 5 menu items in your top navigation. You've got 4. You're thinking about adding destinations, and I think that would be really smart.
Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, I think we did a good throwdown. I'm pretty impressed.
Thank you. I have a whole page of notes now.
I love it. I love it.
Items.
I love it. Well, thank you for being transparent and sharing this. Let us look under the hood and see what's going on here. I hope that everybody joining us got something out of it, but most importantly, I want to make sure that you feel like you got a lot out of it. And
yeah, definitely. That's
awesome. So I guess have a great day.
Thank you.
Keep us up to date. Let us know what's going on. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm going to say thank you on behalf of all the members who are watching. Thank you. Everybody, thank you for joining us today. I hope you are enjoying these website throwdowns. If you would like to submit your website for a website throwdown and be brave like Sarah and allow us in to look at your site and look under the hood, then go into the portal and search for website throwdown, and you'll find the form where you can sign up for this. We do this about every other week on Fridays. So we can definitely find time to do this and just make everybody's website super, super strong. #1 salesperson, that's the goal here. And with that said, I hope to see you on another website throwdown, and have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.